Good morning. Good morning. Sorry I was late. I was on time, but my computer wouldn't unlock to let me in, so I had to do all kind of rebooting. So apologies. Good morning, Miss V, and everybody in the bushes. Don't forget to thumbs up the video. It helps with the algorithm. But yeah, it wouldn't let me in. I had to, and I set it up. Hey, bro. Good morning. I set it up last night, thank God, but the computer would not comply and operate. So not sure what's going on there, but I rebooted it. It's working now. Drop the link from now so I don't forget. Don't have anything really, well, I always say that every week, much to talk about, but I got my tea ready. Mint tea with a sour sap tea bag. Good morning, April. Sorry if I'm slurping. Good morning, Sassy. I don't have much to talk about per se, pre-planned, but some things that happened in the news, not really news, but like entertainment news. That I'm kind of like, I'm not too sure about that. But we'll get into that in a minute. Um, I hope everyone had a good week. Some weeks are harder than others. This weekend is Canadian Thanksgiving, so we get a long weekend, and we had a weekend last weekend. So we've had 2 long weekends back to back, which I'm telling you, you need it because November and December are so busy. By the time you get to the Christmas holidays, it's like you get burnt out. So it's nice to have some time off. The weather's been really nice, unseasonably warm, but there's supposed to be a cold front coming in, and this is exactly where your plants get even more confused. So I'm going to spend today getting some more hardwire mesh. We reinforced the chicken run to get that finished off sometime this week, but I need to get the materials. Some clear tarp to cover the run to keep the wind from getting to them because I do want them to have outdoor space all winter long because it's not healthy for them to be indoors. And just some other bits and bobs to get the house. Good morning, Tamika. Get the house winterized. I need some weather strips for the front door. There's a draft there. Some of the windows need there's a lot to get done when you live in a cold climate, and it's just a lot to get done. And the squirrels be mashing up my stuff. I have to finish my harvesting. I got a lot of my seeds collected. I had no problem so far except for my nasturtium. 2 of them got moldy. So, those of you doing seed collection, make sure you dry, even if it's dry on the plant, put them on a tray and let them dry even longer because it's really irritating. I ordered some envelopes from Amazon. I got those for seed storage, the coin size envelopes, because I find the little plastic bags don't let them breathe, and that may also cause, for you gardeners, cause some molding. But all my seeds, um, for the most part, are collected and dried. I have a bunch of hot peppers on a tray. I was gonna do it last night, but went to bed late. So today I'm gonna put on some gloves, maybe double glove, and do the African chili, the Scotch bonnet, the Peruvian pepper. Hey Cassandra. Hey Bougie. Um, and I have some more cayenne pepper to do. And I'm gonna donate the seeds, some to the library. Of course, I'm gonna have my stash, and some people that I know locally who are gardeners. I'm gonna give them some of the seeds that they may not have. I don't think there many of them are growing anything but Scotch bonnet. So I'm gonna give them the cayenne, the Peruvian yellow Peruvian pepper or Peru pepper. It tastes good. I had a little bit of it. I made the mistake of putting a whole half in my mouth because I thought it was mild like a jalapeno, and it nearly burnt my face off, cleared my sinuses, and cleared my colon, like literally in 5 minutes. So it's a nice pepper for those who don't know. It's when you read the description on Google. Yes, bro, Google Gardener. It says it's a very floral, fragrant, fruity kind of pepper. Good morning, Charles. But it's hot. It has some heat. It's not too much hotter than a jalapeno, but that does not mean you take a full half and pop it in your mouth. But it has a nice flavor for so those of you who don't have it, if you can find it in your seed stores or something, try to find it. I'm gonna pass some around um to a few. I don't have a lot of seeds, but I can give a few you some seeds, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 seeds. And then as you guys start growing, you can pass it around to other people. But that is a very nice pepper if you want to do hot sauces and like chutneys and jams, because you get that fruity flavor and the heat, which will add more dimension to your recipe. So I'm a fan. I like it. It's gonna be a annual pepper of mine. It takes 100 and I think 109 days. So if you're in a short season like I am, you're gonna have to make sure that you start on time. Mine are just turning yellow now, and it's October. Well, not just, but like in the last month or so. So not all of mine are gonna get fully mature, which is fine. I'll freeze them anyways, but it's 109 days, so you need to be mindful of that. Now, on to um, some random topics. A celebrity, which will remain nameless, but you will know the story, mentioned it was, I guess in reference to black women, or I don't know what he was talking about, but basically, um, telling women that if a man can only pay the light bill, and he's a good man, other than that, you should work with the man, and I don't know what he was talking about, but something to the effect of, a lot of women make more money than men, and if a man can only pay the light bill, then I guess he's saying to go with the man. I'm not male bashing by any means, but I've never heard of a man, unless he's a quote unquote scrub, being okay with just being able to pay the light bill, and the woman is carrying the rest of the financial burden. I've never seen. Good morning, Canadian. I don't. I don't. I've never seen it. The men that I talk to in person and stuff, and relate to, they couldn't stand that. Don't um I don't know who this is, guy. Who, if in the backdrop, I don't know who this name is, unless you're under a different name than usual. So if I don't know you, I'm sorry. I'm not bringing you on the panel. So let me know what you think. I don't know. Like, I'm not really. I don't know what he was trying to say, but the interpretation from the public wasn't really receptive. The men that I talk to, they are not down for stuff like that. Um, that all they pay is the light bill. I don't think you get a good version of the person when that's the dynamic of the relationship. I haven't seen that kind of thing really work. And it's not about who makes more or less money, but if the person clearly cannot even contribute to the household, I'm not too sure if that's going to work. So let me know what you think in the chat. But that didn't sound too right. I see no lies. Oh no. Oh no to the no. Yeah, like I don't, and it's not about women. It's not about like a woman's perspective. I don't know men that would really be down for that. They're they want to take care of their own expenses in their household. I believe that's how most of them are wired. And if they're only paying the light bill, even that comment didn't make any sense to me. If all you can pay is the light bill, that means you can't take care of yourself. You're not financially stable. And it's not about how much money you make, but you're certainly not able to sustain yourself. So, how are you expecting somebody else to foot the bill? I don't understand it. I thought that was ridiculous. And there's a lot of discussion in these social media streets about that. It doesn't make sense to me. Hey, Virginia, good morning. And did I miss anybody? Did I get Tamika? If I couldn't contribute, I'd be. That's what I exactly. It doesn't make sense. Maybe that was just a off the cuff example. But if all you can pay, and then I think another online show with another celebrity said something, and I guess she didn't say it in the right manner. But I don't think you're even making sense, because I don't think any grown adult wants to be dependent on somebody in order to have a relationship with them. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. And you're asking, what I've seen in people, what I've observed in real life people is that if a man can't financially support his family, you get a man with a big attitude. He's not very friendly. He's not very easy to live with. He's very difficult. What I've seen from other people, they're very controlling. They want to control all the money and feel like they're in charge, even though like it's very difficult. I don't think he's understanding what he's asking women to do. It doesn't make any sense. Not for me, but if she has a lot of money and has a lavish lifestyle, he can only do so much. But if you're asking him to only pay the light, I, yeah, I think there's a somebody said something when they're talking about the same celebrity and the topic, and people talk about being equally yoked. And I don't know where I heard it. I can't, I was on a lot of lives that particular time, that particular week. And they're saying that unequally yoked does not include finances. I tend to disagree. I think equally yoked means equally yoked. I don't mean you don't have to make the exact same amount of money, but there's a limit to how far you go. Um, I'm the wrong guy to ask. I'm 62, worked since I was 18 full time, pay a ridiculous amount of taxes, so I've paid. um, I think there's a limit. So, for instance, if somebody is very wealthy, very well to do, I don't think they're going to be keen on getting into a relationship with somebody who makes like 50K a year. That's you're not in the same lifestyle. You're not even in the same, so that it's possible, but you're not really rushing to, like, you're unequally yoked. You're not on this, you're not even mentally the same, because people who are wealthy and people who are not wealthy don't have the same mindset. Money, they don't even know how to handle money the same way as somebody who's wealthy. You're not really the same. So I do think that financial yoking is part of being equally yoked. Your age is a factor, culture, language, lifestyle, you know, morals, values, religion, all of these things play a factor into things. And people say, oh no, love will save the day. Love. The best advice I got from my coworker, he's my Filipino guy that I work with, and he and I worked together a long time. We're good, very good friends. And he said to me, and he was right. There's a song, I can't remember the song. It's a song I never heard until he mentioned it. Like love won't save the day, or something to that effect. And when you play the song, basically it's talking about when you're hungry, love is not going to feed you. When you're cold, love is not going to put the heat on, and just stuff like that. Like, oh, love will conquer all. That's a bunch of bullcrap. That's like a naive, childlike mindset. Love does not save the day. You need dollars and cents and to pay the bills, to live a life, to be somewhat comfortable, because a lot of relationships, the arguments are money. And if you ask people, they'll tell you the truth. The arguments are about finances, how they're spent, what they're spent on, who can get what, who's like, there's always something about money. So I don't think that was an accurate statement. But anyways, you can let me know what you guys think. I think I dropped the link already. I'll drop it again. But if I don't, yeah, I don't know who that other person was that came up. If I don't know you, I've never seen you before, yeah, don't come on my live to be the first time being on a panel. I'm not I'm not down. I'm not entertaining that at all. So if I don't know your name, if I haven't interacted with you virtually before, um, yeah, you can just watch in the distance. I've never seen you in the chat. No one's seen you in the chat either. Just don't come on my panel. Don't even waste your time. So let's just be reasonable. I've been married for 41 years. Oh, congratulations. That's a solid. Oh, hold on, private chat. I think someone had sent me a message. Mean. Who are you? I don't know these people. Must be some kind of bot. Anyways, yeah, I don't know who that person was. If a woman is already surviving, a man that makes less can still add. Yes, he can still add for sure. But as I said, I don't know if you guys agree, like there's a limit. If the guy makes like a lot less, like can't even really contribute, I don't think that's always a good thing. If someone's just maybe like transitioning, changing jobs, like that's all understandable. But when someone's is consistently like they're not even in the same arena, that might cause problems. And thinking that love will save the day is not really realistic. You need to have a conversation or goal setting, or what's the end game, because money is consistently a pain point. Good morning, drunken chef. A pain point in relationships, and telling a woman to take a guy who can only, his words were, they can only pay the light bill. What? But how many other bills do you have? By the time you pay, let's say rent or mortgage, the light bill, the water bill, electrical bill, taxes, and everyone knows cell phone. Like, you're adding on all these bills, and now you're combining your life with somebody who can just pay the one bill. Like, what's the point of being with the person? Like, I don't know what he's saying. Um, hey, cat's not walking. I don't see the point of that. I don't. I think some of the conversations that celebrities be having, it's really a waste of time to watching. It's just a colossal waste of time. How can rich people? But yes, he was broke at one point, the man who said it, but he's so wealthy and well to do. Look, what advice are you giving to people, please? Hey, morning TLC, morning planter. That's why men. That's why men have so many more options, because we don't care if a woman has a, exactly. But it's different. What the traditional standard relationship is that, the man is the provider. That's the standard status quo. If a woman's the provider, what does that benefit her? Honestly, I don't see the oh, I missed, hold on, Virginia's comment. I don't see the benefit. And I'll tell you what I mean in a minute. If I had to move in with a woman, I'm definitely paying for two things: mortgage, rent/rent, or and the bed. No one will be able to say I didn't put a roof over her head. Exactly. Like, if a woman is the provider and the breadwinner for from what the celebrity said, basically for the bulk or the entire relationship, I don't think that that's a good position to be in as a woman. As I said, you don't get a good attitude from some men. They get very salty and upset because you're making the money, you're making more money. And I've seen it personally. The men don't act right. I don't see the benefit of you being the breadwinner, because a man can't swallow that. And they talk about women, but a man doesn't really swallow that very well. Let me finish cutting my hair. Here I come. You and your hair. What hair are you cutting? Let me see what Canadian. Well, is it okay to be a man provider anymore? Is there another name for that now? I don't know what they call it now. Maybe and I understand people like quote unquote 50-50, or like equally contributing. But when a woman is a sole financial breadwinner or the majority, I don't think the dynamic in the relationship is very good. I haven't seen it, and you're making it very difficult for yourself. Don't know who said that, but it might have been in response to all of these so-called modern women that don't want to date any man that cannot pay all of her bills and upkeep. That's even ridiculous. It's not his job to pay all your bills and upkeep. I think most people have two people working in the household just to get by. I was talking to my friend the other day, and we make decent money. And even with the decent money, it's like, if one little thing goes wrong, I'm telling you, if one little thing goes wrong, you get sick, you get injured, you're pretty much, two paychecks away from being potentially homeless. You have a slush fund in case, an emergency, but really and truly, the good money that we used to make doesn't seem so good anymore. And laughing here, he, they, the bill pair. Who did I miss? I'm just sitting here having, yep, I'm having my tea as well. I think it's a bit ridiculous. And then when you're talking about inflation and so forth, and regular real life people, not celebrities, it's hard out here in these streets. And on the social media platforms, there's a lot of people who are doing videos complaining that $30, $40 an hour is not even cutting it. They can't afford to pay all their bills and have anything extra. There's nothing left. And all that stress and hostility that they have, and they living alone, never mind with somebody else, that's not a good dynamic. But it is easier when you're working together. Um, I haven't had a mortgage in 18 years. Oh, that's a blessing. But a lot of people have mortgages. A lot of people have debt. A lot of people made some bad decisions. Um, a lot of bad decisions. And I know some, you know, men that are in their 50s, people that I know, relatives of mine as well, and they made a lot of bad decisions, and they're basically back at square one. And they're single right now. I think that's probably the best situation, like just to be single. And they're starting over, changing careers, doing, a trade now, and clearing up their debt and getting themselves back together because they made some bad decisions. And in the name of a relationship as well, sometimes you make some bad decisions. So they're starting over, rebuilding their credit, their finances, and just getting their life together. And I don't think, I have to wonder, I don't know if it's just me. You guys let me know. A woman who would want a man and doesn't mind that the man is not able to contribute, does that not look desperate? Is that not like a pick Misha, a pick me kind of, like, you're not looking, not everyone's looking for money. They're not looking to be a gold digger, but you do want someone that can sustain themselves. And especially when you're, the celebrities talking about women, like a adult of a particular age. You're not like 19, 18, 19. You're of a particular age, and you want someone that's not going to be a burden and drag you down, but at least on the same playing field. I don't, I don't necessarily want to be able to go to a movie as a single person, and now I'm with this person and we're struggling because I'm covering everything, even his stuff, because he can only pay the light bill. I don't even know why he said that as an example, but that's not what I've seen work. And the men that I've seen, one lady I know, they broke up, her and her husband. For years she was working. She and I talked a few times over this last past summer. Some of the crap she had to go through, and some of the crap I know she went through. Good morning, Miss T. I know she went through, but she couldn't talk about it. Because I know one time I went to her house. I didn't say anything to her at the time, but when we talked about it recently, I did mention it to her. I went to her house to drop off something, and it was a snowstorm. It was bad, bad weather. But we made it there, and I gave something to her, and she was giving me something. And I could see her husband behind her, not behind her. Like I saw his reflection on something, and he was right behind her, wants to eavesdrop, listen to what we're talking. Like he was controlling. And I was like, okay, da, 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 smiling, ha, 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 pretending that I didn't see him. And then when I went into the car, and I'm like, yo, man, that man was like literally right behind her. Like if she said the wrong thing, I don't know what would have happened when the door closed. He wasn't, she was the one working, and she went to school to become trained in something because she didn't have a job, and she had to finish her high school like as an adult learner. Let me not get too far behind in the chat. And she was making the money paying the bills, and they're not wealthy, but the control that she was under was ridiculous. But let me just my son had an injury in March that disabled him temporarily. I've been paying his bills and mortgage just so the person he's with can't throw it in his face. Oh my goodness. Now, to me, if somebody gets injured, you're with somebody and they get injured, that's beyond their control. You're supposed to fill in the gap until they can get back. And that's why you have a plan. You have a slush fund or emergency fund, so that when that happens, because it's going to happen to all of us at one point, you have something to hold the gap while you're recovering or going through physio. But man, I know a woman who is so desperate to have a man, she works and her boyfriend just sits in the house, drink wine and smoke weed. That's exactly what I'm visualizing in my mind. You're better off being by yourself. Like, what are you getting out of the relationship? It doesn't make sense. I have a friend that's been married, lived with four different women, cost him three fortune. Yeah, I think there's. Hey, good morning, Fifi. I think there's something about being equally yoked we talk about, but do believe it includes finances and economics. And I think a lot of people don't even want to get married now and combine assets because of this. The first marriage cost him 300 grand. And I'm surprised he got married again after that. I know a lady, I've mentioned it before, but I'll mention it again because sometimes you get different people. One second, let me take a sip. And she was divorced. She's divorced, a coworker. And she shared with me a lot of what she went through. Because I don't know, I guess I'm one of those people that you can just talk to. So her husband was a fraudster. He would write in those days because she's older. He would write false checks. He would do stuff like that, and you know, good morning, Jamaica. I think I got everybody. And he would do stuff like that. I talked about this before, like why women hide money. She had to hide money. He was a gambler. He would go to the racetrack and to the casino, and on a Friday on the weekend, and then that's when you get paid, and then there's no money for the week, no money for food. She had two children, two boys, never mind, and all of these things. Long story short, she went through a lot with him, and she was careful enough. Her father helped her. Thank God, her father really guided her through, so that she did not sign certain things and do certain things to be stuck with his debt. She divorced, raised the kids pretty much on her own. He remarried somebody else, and even that was weird. She told me something weird, but I can't remember. I think he married like a relative of hers or cousin. It was weird. Anyways, she said she's not. She has a I call him a man friend. He's not a boy. And they date and they spend time together. But in terms of him moving into her house, that's a no. Good morning, Casings. That's a no. She talked to me like we're having a conversation, and a lot of people, a lot of men will be like, "Oh, how can you?" This is real life. If she combines her assets again with another man, that's taking away from her legacy to leave her children. And she's of a particular age. She's not having any more children. Last I checked, her kids are both married, and she's just waiting for grandchildren now. Um, Anything that she has is going to her children. So combining your assets as a divorced person with children, some people have a plan and they're not combining assets. The man's not living with her, getting mail delivered to her house. He has his place, she has her place. Sometimes he comes over to her place when her kids are at the father's house because she's one of those ladies that doesn't have, like, she didn't have different men over at her house. She was basically single. If she was kind of dating, it was when her kids were at the father's house. She never brought men over around her kids. This guy now, the kids know him. That's fine. But she has her house, he has his house. I think he has his own kids, and they're not combining assets. I know somebody else who's got remarried. I don't know how the assets are being split because I don't really talk to her like that anymore, but it's something you need to think about because if you have your own kids, he has his own kids, what are you doing? You can't just be like, oh, it's love will save the day. Listen, we grown, we live in the real world. There's legalities, there's estate planning, there's all of that. And she just told me straight, she's not combining. She's after what she's been through, you've been married to a man that's supposed to love you and he's gambling off all the money and writing bad checks and trying to put you in debt. No, 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 no. And she kept the house because her dad did something. I don't know what he did. Can't remember, but he did something to protect her to make sure that she was protected. And okay, I see you broke. And that's what happened. Um, Hold on, let me read what Virginia says. No woman is moving in with me unless we have the same last name. Exactly. Exactly. I don't know why people want to make everything a marriage. It's not a marriage. You can still be like situationship indefinitely. That's what you want to do. I don't think marriage is always a good plan for everybody as a second marriage, third marriage, fifth marriage. I think you're it's not a good plan to me.
Uh, Good morning. How you doing, Urban?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. I'm well. Now you know this my kind of subject. Now we already know this. Now, first off, uh, you mean to tell me if you pass out and you need somebody to call 911, but ain't nobody there, that's more important than him making the same amount of money as you?
Doesn't have to be the same, but as I said, there's a limit. If you're
What's
talking about someone who makes 5 grand a year and she
five
makes a
grand?
100 grand, let's just say it
Oh,
can't be extreme. It can't be like
okay.
totally extreme. If
What if
you're
she
like
make?
aroundish, 30,000 ish, whatever that your number is for yourself, kind of in the same pocket, that's fine. But we're talking about the man who that somebody said is smoking weed and drinking and sitting on the couch and she's out working. That's not something that's healthy. Like that, why are you with this person?
But that's not okay. And it's sad that women see relationships like this. First thing you see is money because if you make 150,000 and he makes 50,000, that's a
Hmm.
big difference. But he's cutting the grass. He's doing things around the house that will save you money. So that money sometimes equals out. If he's bringing other things to the household, it's not always
Of
a money
course,
thing.
I
And
agree with you 100%. But how many men are doing that? Because what
I'm
I'm seeing, not celebrities, but in real life, I'm seeing, as you always say, why do women tolerate certain crap? That's what I'm seeing. The man ain't mowing the lawn. He ain't. I know a woman right now. This is what I'm saying. I'm not talking about. So I'm talking about real life women. He's injured. He can't work. Understandably. Good morning, everyone coming in. Unbiased, Odoms. I bring it. She has to hold the line financially, which is fine. That's your husband. Like, he got injured. It's not his fault. But she's getting work outside of the home, little extra shifts here and there. And she has to leave to go run and pick up the kids from school. So why can't he pick up the kids from school? So that you can finish the job to get the money that's helping to pay. Like, I'm watching how people move, and I don't say nothing to them because they're in it, and it's for me to judge them. It's not really right. But as an outsider, I'm thinking he's not working, and you're out here hustling, and the school is closer to him. She has to drive all the way across to leave the job early to go pick them up to bring. Like, you're making her work ragged. What are
well,
you doing?
they're more of extreme situations. Just in normal conversation, what you were saying with disparity in money.
Hmm.
That I don't. I just think that once you make money the main thing, you ain't got no relationship anyway. If you meet a guy and you like a guy, and he don't make enough money, then it's just over.
No, I think money's not just money. Money symbolizes something to men and to women. And even though we're in quote unquote modern times, money to us symbolizes a level of comfort.
There's no
It's
such
not
thing
just
as
about
comfort.
the money. It's not the amount of money. And maybe some women will lie and say, "Oh, it doesn't matter." It does matter a bit because if you're accustomed to a certain lifestyle. So let's assume a younger person who's lived with her parents, not an adult, a younger person who had a certain upbringing and her parents have a certain financial backing and now she's dating and she's going to get married as a young person. Good morning, Erica. You I've heard a father say this. Like, I've given my daughter a certain level of comfort and a certain lifestyle. And if I'm going to let her boyfriend marry her, like, he has to come kind of close to what she's used to. I'm not going to let her get married and then she's going downgrading to eat canned food and what. Like, there's a certain level of comfort. It's not about the money and that you are more important because you make a certain amount of money. It's the comfort that comes with that. So,
But
are you able to sustain a level that she's used to?
Urban, let me tell you something. I don't know if most women know this. When a man is a certain point and he meet a woman and she helps to bring him up to that next level, that's the type of
Hmm.
love that man will always have for that person. Now, if you meet a man and he's already on top and
Hmm.
and you meet him then, he's not gonna love you the same. You know what I'm saying? He loves a
So
woman that's gonna
hold on, you're
bring
telling
the.
me that I have to be a what you call it? What they call that?
You got to bring the
A
best
ride
out
or
of her.
die, or like when you're there, whatever
That's
they
that
call it. There's a word for
ride or
that.
die, ride or die.
No, there's another word for that. But this is the problem. Women are told not to do a build a bear. They're told not to take on a project because you take
By
on the
who?
project, you build the bear, and then the bear goes and marries somebody else. So
Look,
that's the risk. As I'm saying, there's a risk that we take in building a bear. Hi,
but
hold on. Let me bring up Darren.
what's up, Darren?
And let me see
Hey,
what Odom. Let me see what Odom is saying. Hold on. Let me
What?
read Odom's comment. Why is it always that the man there's hold on? Why is it always the man there is a lot of women killing relationships
Ooh,
and marriage, but the blame always goes on the man? I don't get it.
ooh,
I think a woman. I think
ooh.
a lot of women ruin their relationship as well.
Uh,
I've heard that from other men before.
Majority of the women start divorces. Men don't, by nature, file for divorce. It's highly women,
Yeah, it
highly.
is. It is. But
And so
why is that?
y'all crazy. I don't know.
Some of us are crazy. Some of us are crazy. Some of us are tired of the bull crap. Some of us, some of y'all are crazy too.
Yeah, right, 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 right.
hey, Urban, I was gonna stay in my lane. I swear, I'm gonna stay in my lane until you brought up something. And what you just was talking about is, and I want to tell you a quick story because my wife thought this, and I really I had to lay into her to let her know that this is, and this is my opinion. Um, what was happening was she lost her high paying job. It was a couple of years back, and for some reason, and normally I'm not this type of believer, but I just knew we're gonna be okay. But she was so determined because she's the main one. She makes the most money. And I gotta get a job. I gotta get a job. I said, so relax, you'll get one, you'll get one. I gotta get a job. And she just kept on making the wrong decisions. She kept on going for the wrong jobs. I remember one time I came home and she was at her desk and literally in tears, just crying. Just I said, "What's the matter?" And she was explaining it was a job. I said, "The hell with that! You quit that job right now. You call that lady. I swear, if you don't, you're gonna have to deal with me. You quit that job right now." And I knew because I knew we was gonna be okay. And she called and quit that job, but she kept on had this mindset: I got to get a job. I get a job. She wasn't thinking, and she wound up getting the last job before the job she has now. She got a job with a Trumper. Her boss was a Trumper. He didn't like her black skin, and one I was like, well, why did you go there? She said, oh, we've got it, the bills to pay. I said, you know what, doing all this, I had that backup money that you said. I
Hmm.
sold my stocks, I sold everything. I didn't care. I wanted my wife to be happy. I wasn't like, this is my money. No, I sold it, and I said, we're gonna be okay, just hang in there, hang in there. And then when she finally got let go from that job, I said, no, enough's enough. I'm putting my foot down. Take your time. Look for the right job. And you'll be okay. We will be okay. She was like, well, I don't want to give up our lifestyle because we cruise all the time. We do this, we
Hmm.
do. I said, we will. We just have to take a break.
Hmm.
Just take a break. And that's what happened. Now she's happy. And again, I had to take on a different role. I'm her cheerleader. I'm a husband. Baby, you got this. I got to hear every bit of mumbo jumbo that she goes through all day long. It drives me up the wall. But I love her enough to deal with it. And babe, you do this and do. And I got to remember, she's her own person. She ain't gonna listen to me. She just been. And I learned from all of that. And a whole bunch. I got a million stories. I learned from all of that just to say, hey, we are a team. I got your back, and I know she got my back. I'm spoiled rotten. When I realized that, I stopped doing certain things. Sometimes you got to let that man hold up. I'm taking advantage. I need to cut back. I need to do this. I need to do that. And then I
I
started.
think your story hit the nail on the head, which is maybe I didn't say it, but I'll say it now. It's like when you're in a relationship as I think both of y'all said, like you're supposed to be building. That is true. And I
Yeah.
think the problem is, in my opinion, a lot of women, I don't know what happened, maybe society, you don't feel that team spirit. Like you feel that if something goes left, you got to resolve it yourself. You don't have this man backing you up. Because I said, there's some men in these streets who aren't doing what they're supposed to do. They're not. I'm not
But
bashing
y'all
men.
keep
I'm just watching how some women have to suffer in silence and tolerate a man who's gambling, spending off the money, doing all kind of stuff. Like I'm like regular women who didn't want to buy a house and she struggled and got the house and he wouldn't help pay. Like just wicked mindset in people. And they don't feel that team effort and that if she gets injured, he's gonna foot the bill and back her up and support the family. They literally feel like they're on their own in a marriage. Do you know
Yeah.
how horrible that is to
but
be
Oh
in
it's
a
yeah, been
marriage
there.
and you feel alone?
Been there,
Exactly.
done
horrible
You
that.
people on
you know what I'm talking about.
yes, yes, definitely. But it's horrible people on both sides. It's horrible women. It's
Both
horrible
sides,
men.
Well,
both
yeah,
sides, both sides.
and
But
and
y'all
and I have to walk a thin line because I don't want to attack nobody. But you got to understand this, and this is what I see. I see there are givers and takers. There are vultures and there are sheep. And a lot
Mm-hmm.
of women start out their whole life as sheep, but they're turned on by the vultures. You knew he wasn't shit. You knew he wasn't gonna be shit. You
But
knew
you
he
know, yeah.
smelled like shit, but you still let him come into your abode. And then when the right one comes along, when God finally sends the right one, you're like, nah, you ain't coming in here. When you ain't coming in here with that. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's because
Mm-hmm.
like I'll give you an example. My wife, she asked me to move in with her
Mm-hmm.
because I was newly divorced. I lost everything. I was 4 months prior. I lost everything in the truck accident. Everything. All I had was some money in the bank. I didn't tell nobody how much I had. And she asked me to come move in, but I was like, okay, I'll move in with you. But soon as you do that typical woman thing, and we have a misunderstanding, get out. Guess what? I got a bed right behind me. So I was like, okay, but I went in there not being a moocher. I
Mm-hmm.
went in
Mm-hmm.
there. I went in there with the right aspect. I'm gonna tell you a quick story, and this is hilarious. My father wanted to go into business with me doing hot shots. Hot shots means that you move. You ever see those F-350 King Ranch truck pickup trucks with a flatbed?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. You need a CDL, but he did it wrong. He put everything together wrong, and we got in an argument over $6. It's called the F ticker. Long story. He would not listen to me, and I left the trucking job, and that's I literally other part of the story is I work for this company and I've been here ever since. And my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, I was waiting for him to come around, but I had a mindset in my head that I'm only gonna give it one more week, and then I got to get a job and get back on the road. And she woke up one day and she looked at me, and right before she walked out the room, she's heading to work, and she came back and said, "You got to get a job. You can't be laying up in here like that." And I was saying, "I'm waiting for my father to come around." But I was like, "Okay." And she went to work, and I called, and when you're a truck driver and you got a good license, you got a good everything. I can get a job. I can make a phone call and get a job like that. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I did. I called night transportation. I said, "Hey, I know y'all got a yard on the other side of town. When and whatever. When do you got? When is your orientation?" He said Monday. I said, "Okay." I said, "I don't have a vehicle right now. Can you put me up in a hotel?" She said, "Yeah." She said, "When do you want to get there?" I said, "This weekend." And I she said, okay. She ran all the stuff and said, "You're hired." I went, and no, I called my future wife, my girlfriend. I said, "Hey, babe, I need a lift over to such and such." She said, "Why?" She said, "Cause I got a job. I start Monday." What? What? Yeah, I'm going to a hotel to put me on. I want to come. I want to come. But she was mad and thinking I was going to be this good for nothing and mooching off of her and doing all this other stuff when all you had to do was ask. I would have told you what was, you see what I'm saying? So, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. I s- and when I noticed, I said, "Oh, she got some past trauma. Somebody did something to her."
Right, right.
And I had to remember that. And also, I still remember that when I say stuff because hurt people hurt. We always think that, oh, I'm healed. I've been in a relationship for 2 weeks or a month or a year. I'm healed. Look, you got to give yourself just as much time that it took you to f yourself up to do it. And to, a smart, an elderly gentleman said, "Look, it took 20 years to mess you up. It's going to take 20 years to get you right." You know what I mean? And
Basically,
I
right.
like,
It's not as quick as I don't know about 20 years, but it's not going
yeah,
to be
yeah, but you
overnight.
know what I
It's not
mean.
going to be. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's going to be
you know
time
what I mean. And I
time
have to
around the hormones.
remember that. I have to remember that she has flashbacks. I have flashbacks. We be flashbacking together, and but we'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And in my lives, I'll be bringing up stuff kind of cryptically, and the only people that get it are the women. The
Go
only
ahead,
people
bro.
that get what
All right,
I'm
go ahead,
saying.
bro.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, bro.
No, no,
Sorry,
no,
bro.
no. I just got a question. Why is it okay for women to be going through a whole lot of trauma, but as a man, we're supposed to accept that? But man has absolutely zero room to have any problems or traumatic experience that he ain't got through yet.
Oh
I don't
boy.
think that's true. I don't think that's true. I think
Oh,
men
you're walking tightly there, one, bro. But I'm
no,
with
because
you. I'm
you're
I'm
saying why is it okay? I don't think men are as transparent about their traumas as women
We can't
may
be.
be. I don't think men admit it
can't.
because they're men. The back of
No,
nothing's wrong with them.
We can't.
we we we've been kicked in the teeth so much that
Even
you don't
amongst
want to
other
tell
men,
nobody.
even amongst other
Yeah,
men, you're true. You're not
I,
honest with them
you
either.
yeah, yeah. Especially on YouTube.
Well, not YouTube.
Especially
I'm
on
talking about
YouTube.
your male friends in
No,
person. I wouldn't do nothing
I
to
only
so you
got
let them
I only
first.
got I only got I only got two male friends I can tell anything to. Anything. But
Why
after
would
that, no, yeah.
why would I put that on another man's plate? If a man is married, dude, look at him. He married, got kids, probably went to jail. Why am I gonna put another problem on his plate that he got to think about and feel sorry for me? I'm not putting that on nobody's plate. So as a man, we chuck that up and just hold it. But y'all can have a emotional breakdown every 3 days, and we have to be sensitive to y'all feelings and what y'all got going on. You know what
I
I'm
wouldn't
saying?
call it an emotional breakdown, but there are some hormonal imbalances that
But that's the
happen. And it
y'all.
does make you a bit crazy and off the wall because I was that person. And then I changed my diet and it's not so bad. You should not put me behind a motorized vehicle 10 years ago. I would run you over. Literally, like, it's not even funny. It's like your hormones are
Wow.
just like off. And you yourself are like, what the hell is happening? Like, literally. It makes no sense. And it's like and I think, the food, the hormone, all the stuff was just like not right. And when I started getting chiropractic care and naturopathic care, it all nicely leveled off because it was really not nice being in your own skin. It was cray cray. But I think women are just maybe because we have a monthly cycle where you guys, tolerate it a little more, but the hormones be kind of acting up and people kind of be like, cray cray.
I,
Seriously.
well, let me ask you:
Seriously.
who gets the most out of the relationship?
I think I thought it was the man. I'm not too sure. It
Yeah, I'm
depends.
not sure either.
It depends what role you play. Because in recent years, I think side chicks are the ones that are winning. I
No,
think side chicks are winning.
no.
But it depends what your end goal is. And it depends. I'm telling you, bro, because before it was Ben. But now society has changed so much. It's like, I don't know. I think side chicks are winning. I think
Okay.
side chicks are winning.
And this the other weird thing. Men are actually put so much into relationship, be the breadwinner, buy cars, buy houses. But if y'all say y'all want a divorce, we have to give up everything. So I don't understand how women are got so many standards for a man when a man got to go through so much and to just accept the loss of getting into a marriage. I don't understand how that works. Y'all say,
Is
well,
that
nothing.
women or is that society? Because that's two different things. Because a
Maybe
lot of
woman.
women don't, I know what you're saying, but there's a lot of women I know personally who don't subscribe to that. But the court system does. So there's a difference between, for instance, there's a person who's divorced and we're talking about, let's say people talk about child support, which is a big pain point, and spousal support, the big pain point for men when it comes to divorce, because they're expected to pay spousal support, child support, and they lose half. That's what they have in their mind. But some women don't subscribe to that. But when you go to court and get the courts involved, that's when people start advising the woman and this and that, and things go left. But
Well,
not all women go in there looking for, to take you and milk you dry. There's some
well,
women who say, no, I don't want that.
so if a man making $50,000, if he live by himself, he can live good. There's some women can make 100,000 and be struggling. So for y'all, that's furthermore to say, if y'all saying a man has to make a certain amount to be with y'all, some of these guys living really good with them little 50,000 they got.
I
I'm
think
just saying.
women, and I'm only speaking for me, I think I find that being a woman, there's a lot more scams, which makes my life more expensive. When it comes to like mechanics and car care, you go there on your own and you get charged $100. I'm getting charged 250 for the same work. There's certain things, and then I caught on real quick. I'm like, you know what? Something's not right, because my money wasn't stretching as far as other people. Then I realized that there's certain things set up. Once they see you going there as a woman, okay, meal ticket. I'm gonna overcharge her. I'm gonna tell her that there's 10 things wrong when only one thing is
I
wrong.
gotta agree with that one. Yeah.
And there's certain things when you travel alone, they charge you, like there's certain things I start saying, hold on a second here. Like I'm paying 3 times more, either because I'm single or because I'm a woman.
So you
Then I caught on and realized, okay, you ain't gonna catch me twice with this nonsense. But that's
so
what's
you
happening to women's money. It's getting eaten up with scams.
I agree. So you mean to tell me if you had a man that didn't make that much money, he's automatically paying dividends in your life financially. That's what you
Yeah,
just said.
he is. He
So
is.
what so what is the big
It
deal
don't
about
bother me. He's, as long as you said, he's pulling quote unquote his weight. The
yeah.
the issue with people is, men or women, nobody wants to feel like they're pulling 180 pounds behind them, or one, whatever you weigh, 150. They feel like you're dragging somebody behind you, whether financially, emotionally. Nobody wants to feel that.
Well,
It's like, if I
I,
gotta feel like I should be alone when I'm with you, then something's not too right.
happiness has nothing to do with money. It's homeless
Nothing.
couples that are happy. So those
Yes.
women will continue to be single and alone because once you put a price tag on a relationship, it's over already. It's not gonna last.
But
That
you
guy,
have to live in the real world, broke. Things
no,
cost money.
no. Once that guy figure out he's a meal ticket, he ain't gonna want you no more. He's
Not a
not.
meal ticket, but you want somebody who's not using a coupon to pay for dinner. He
That's
can
a
afford
meal
to pay
ticket.
for the dinner.
That's the definition of a meal ticket. That's the
It's not a meal
definition.
ticket. It's not a meal ticket. If you're with somebody and you're in a, okay, let's talk about a marriage, not dating. You're in a marriage with somebody and you say, you know what, let's go out to dinner. And he's, oh, I gotta, like, you want to just go and enjoy simple stuff, not always be with someone who's always like lacking. That's all I'm saying. And people can say, oh, no, it's the truth. You want to be able to fill my tank of gas, and let's go driving, let's go somewhere. You're nickeling and diming everything. I don't
No,
want to be nickeling and diming everything, especially when you
I,
get to like 30, 40, 50. Can we just
I,
do something and enjoy it? And you're not nickeling and diming?
I
But
feel I feel like we so far apart on this because I
I'm
rather
kind
have
of a cheapskate.
yeah
You're
I rather
you're saying you're saying that it shouldn't be about money. But we live
no
in the real world, broke.
I'm saying I'd rather have a 4 for 4 at Wendy's with somebody I mentally connect with than the most extravagant Ruth Chris meal you can have with somebody who is an airhead. And I don't think people understand that, oh, it's cool to have somebody with this, but this person mentally don't line up with you. You can't have a real conversation, but they got a lot of money. Now, how long before that woman get tired of that?
5 minutes.
It's a countdown. As soon
Five
as they
minutes.
start
Because
dating.
who wants a dumb dude and who wants a dumb woman? But suppose
Oh,
you have all of that.
no,
You
no,
you
no. We
have a
like
good
dumb.
conversation.
No, no.
You like the person.
We like
Listen,
dumb women.
but
We
she,
like dumb women.
you like dumb women?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
No, mine is smart, but I'm saying I prefer a dumb one.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. If you were average intelligence, I would say yes, but nah, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. And if you did like a dumb woman, you'd have more than one woman. I'm telling you that right now, because you
Who
wouldn't be
want
stimulated.
who want a
You would not be mentally stimulated.
who want a woman that always right, who
Being right
always
doesn't make you smart. That's a different. That's a different. That's attitude. That's not intelligence.
Yep.
you can
A
you
smart
can't
woman play dumb and make you think that you were always right. That's what smart women be doing. I'm telling you. That's what my aunt did. My mom did. They pretended to make you think that you were always right because they were smart.
what if a man was dating a woman, he got ready to go somewhere, he say, hey babe, I'm finna go to the moon, I got a rocket ship coming tomorrow, and she say, okay baby, just be safe. Now who don't want that?
That's what you're asking for. That's exactly what you're saying. You want a dumb chick, so she gonna be dumb. But the smart one's gonna be like, okay, do you have your insurance policy set up? So when you go on that,
We don't,
I'm
and to
good
be
to
honest,
go.
we don't want to have an educational conversation every time we talk. Sometimes we just want to talk about the Jefferson. You
Listen,
know what
that's
I'm
all
saying?
part of intelligence. There's emotional intelligence, there's book smarts, there's street smarts, there's all levels of intelligence.
And you and you
The point is you're mentally stimulated. And if you're
I'm
not
go. I'm gonna
stimulated,
go ahead and step down.
no
I'll talk
problem.
to you later.
If you're not mentally stimulated, if someone who's intelligent, you're not going to enjoy it. I'm telling you, you're
but
not going to enjoy it.
it's to a point where I don't even think women really know what a man wants. I really don't. Cause y'all think we want a smart woman with a degree and a lot of money. Dude, we don't care about none of
Degree
that.
don't mean nothing, and money don't mean nothing. What I'm saying is these men be telling women, the celebrities telling women to take a man who can only pay the light bill.
Well, how much is the light bill?
It
If the
depends
light
on the
bill,
house that you're living in. Depends
eh,
on square
if she
footage, I guess.
if she's staying in a mansion and the light bill $1,500, I'm doing something if I'm paying the light bill. It's all in your circumstances,
Do
though.
you
I
think
believe.
you're going to get a good woman? Let's be honest here. All the features that you want in a woman, if she's paying the bulk of the bills, do you think that's going to be the same woman that you met and fell in love with in 1 2 years time? If she's paying all the bills and has all that burden, do you think you're going to end up with a good woman in the end?
Probably
Because
not.
I'm going to say
Probably
no.
not. Probably not.
She's
Probably
going to
not.
become resentful. It's going to be a toxic environment, and it's not going to go well. So I don't know
So
why someone is telling women to go that route when we live in the real world.
yeah,
Real world.
but how come a man can date a woman at a Waffle House and after 2 3 years and no resentment?
Because you're wired for that. You're
See,
wired for
and
that.
that's the thing. Y'all wired on some
And
weird
you
stuff.
guys you guys seem to want to do that. This is why the side chicks be winning now. That's why the side chicks now be winning.
The side chicks don't
Not the
win.
wives, side
So
chicks.
they don't win.
Oh, they
They don't
win.
win.
I've
No,
seen men take their good money out the household and go pay a side chick for go have BMW and their wife is driving a Honda Accord or a
oh
Honda
no,
Civic.
no, no, I've never seen that.
This is what
That's
I see. But I keep
that's
my
what
mouth shut because I know to stay out of grown folks' business and don't let their friends tell them what their man be doing behind their back. Man take their good money from the household and go buy a girlfriend laptop and go buy the girlfriend's mother stuff.
that must be where you live at. I've never encountered that. The
This is
side
what men be doing, but they don't tell you. But I always
oh,
seem to catch people whether on the street or out in public, and I'm just like,
see, you must be a different part of society from where I am
I'm
because
in every part of society, high and low, and those executives are worse than the low income dudes. Men with money are worse.
mm,
Half of the managers at work are sleeping with employees.
well, that's normal.
I guess it's normal. And they
It's
flip and
not
they
right.
flop and they flop and they flip. Then I go out into Costco and see them and their wife together, and it's like, oh,
But okay, but something else. How do you know she's not okay with it? Some people have an understanding.
I think there are some people who are okay with it, but no woman's ever okay with you doing it disrespectfully. And if everybody
I'll
else
give
can
you
see
that.
what you're doing, then that's not what she signed up for. I highly doubt she signed up for everybody else looking like she's a fool when you have a internal understanding.
Yeah, I
And
get
they're
that.
too sloppy to be. It's not an arrangement. I'm telling you, these men be sloppy. And one
Oh,
guy, the last person that did it, I actually liked the manager. He was really good. I liked him. He's had a good personality. And he was having an affair with a married employee. So I guess he thought because she was married that it wouldn't be so clingy.
yeah.
Then she's ready to leave her husband
Mhm.
for go be with him full time. And he never signed up for that. He's got young kids. That was never the arrangement. So I was like, yo, side chicks need to stay in their side chick role. Like, if you sign up to be a side chick, you should not be not trying to be a wife. You
Okay.
signed up for, job A, you do your job A. Excuse my vulgarity, but that's how it works in the real world. You married, he married, you knew what it was when you signed up for this. Now she's coming to work and bringing the personal business into the office place and making scenes and behaving whatever. So that now I have to get involved and say, yo, B, check your damn self. You're coming here with your trashy behavior and bringing it into the office place. That's for your outside. If you can't handle the side chick role, then resign. But don't bring it into the workplace. So she didn't like me very much because she's like, hey, you're such a B. Yeah, I am a B. But I stay in my lane. I'm not a side chick. I'm a wife. And you want to be a side chick? This is what comes being a side chick.
Yeah,
You
it's a handbook.
It's a
It's a
handbook. Read
it's
the
a
handbook.
handbook.
So everybody was like, they didn't respect her because you bring it into the workplace, you're making a scene. She was carrying, I was gonna have to call security, carrying
Mm.
on. And then when she was yelling at him in his office, this is what she's saying, because their wall was right next to my wall. You talk to me like I'm nothing because you are nothing. Like, this is what you signed up
Wow.
for. Like, you
Wow.
can't get mad when the man treats you the way that you allowed him to, and now you want to be elevated.
Wow.
Anyways, we told him to break up with this lady because she nothing but trouble. She gonna get you fired. I left that position. By the time I turn around, several months later, that's what happened.
Hey, look here now. I'm gonna get back to something real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like every man on earth want the same three things from a relationship. I feel like every woman on earth have three different things they want in a relationship. You don't believe me?
No, I'm looking at David saying, "Stay in your lane." You don't like side. I don't like side
Oh,
pieces. I don't
oh.
like them. They make me sick.
I feel like the disconnect is I don't think women really know what they want. And I think men know exactly what they want.
Yeah, I
They
think they do.
they want they
Or you
want
should.
they want to be fed, they want to be comforted when they need it, and they just want to jump off the dresser. That's it, Urban. And that's every man in the world. Now ask 10 women the three things they want in a relationship and see what they say. You will get 3,000 answers.
Because I think people are basing it on what other people say that you're supposed to want and supposed to have. That's what I think.
But every man is we men get
Hey,
blamed
Tina.
for being bad in relationships when what we want is simple. What y'all want
Mm-mm.
is so difficult. So who is really the problem in these relationships?
I don't think men are to. People say men are not to blame. I think, as you're right, men are very simple. Like the man who had the affair with the married woman, they're both married. You're both breaking your vows, but you knew what it was. It became a problem when you want to change the arrangement, and then you want to blame it on the man. The man didn't change the arrangement. You did. If it's not for you, then you need to leave. It's quite simple. Don't try to. The man, woman was carrying on, and then women like that. This is why men get the blame because you don't know when to fold them, when to walk away, and when to run. Now this woman you can see is unstable and volatile, and instead of you cutting it off, you keep it going
Yeah,
and
now
give her more power to ruin your marriage and to ruin your career at the same time.
we're not good
That's
at
when it
breaking up.
becomes like, are you stupid, sir? She's
Yeah,
shown you that she can't stay in her side chick role.
we are
And then
awful at breaking off relationships. Awful.
he
That's
should
what
have
it is.
broke it off. And then what happened was some of the sales reps that cover the region came to the office and were asking questions of my colleague because they thought I didn't know, because they saw him out having lunch and doing stuff in public because they were in their car making calls to go to appointments, and then they see the manager with the girl and see them holding hands and having, and I'm, whatever's done in darkness comes to light.
Yeah.
And it's, so I'm just like, I don't care, I'm not judging you. A lot of people have cheated in their marriage, if they're honest. They're pastors included. So you're not fooling me with
Not
this.
me.
So, included.
Not me.
But
Not me.
it's how you stay in your position is what the real problem is. A lot of people have cheated.
No.
Lot
I,
of people.
I I don't know, dude. It's weird because I'm gonna say this and it's gonna sound horrible, but as a woman, since you understood boys difference between boys and girls, boys been trying to get at women ever since they were 10, and y'all been
Hmm.
pushing them away. So y'all get used to that. But a man has been trying to holler at these women since he was 10. So it's hard to say no when y'all been conditioned to say no your whole life. You know what I'm saying? So for a man to say no, it takes a little more, and I don't think y'all understand that.
I think most women say yes. We talking about no. Who say no?
Y'all been telling us no since we was in middle school. What are you talking about?
I don't think. I think most women who are, okay, I'll say maybe high school and up, have been saying, giving people chances, going on dates and spending time. They're not saying no.
What?
If you're
What?
ugly and you're not physically attractive, that's an instant no. So if you
Well,
not
no.
having your appearance game up and the odor up, then you probably get an instant no.
I'm
But most people give you a chance, give men a chance.
really. Where are they?
Yeah.
Where are you from? It's it's a it's a different
Some
world where
men,
you from.
some men, this is my experience, have no sexual appeal at all.
I wouldn't know. I don't know.
Well, there's women that you see that have no sexual appeal. Like
Fact,
she couldn't get you
fact.
aroused if she tried. I'm talking about those kind of people where it's like they're nice
Mm.
people, but there's no nothing. So you're not gonna waste your, well, some people do waste their time and then play them for a fool, but there's no nothing. Let's be
But
honest. We're grown people. Like some of them just, yeah.
but everybody likes something different in a person. So
Hmm.
you- I mean, something I wouldn't. I would like, ew, somebody else. That might be their thing. You know what I mean? So,
I don't think body odor is anybody's thing, but to each
ooh,
their own. There's some
ooh,
people that just, if I smell you before I see you, like it's not gonna work.
oh,
I
that's a
don't,
no.
I don't like men who don't, and I don't care what style. Like I'm not like stuck on a look, but I don't like that untidy look. You can have long hair and still look tidy. You can have short. It all depends. But some people just look like dusty.
That's
Nobody, I don't think people like a dusty looking person. Like you want to look like the person put some effort, they groom themselves, they smell nice. You don't have to dress particularly in my style of yeah, but you don't want them being dry ashy elbows all the time. Their
oh,
lips are always dry. They don't put a breath mint in their mouth and their breath is hot. Like there's all these things that just like,
wait a minute. Wait
it's
a minute
hard out
now.
here dating in these streets. It's like, did nobody give you the manual?
But
Like,
no, if he's a good man and he's just funky, you can clean him up. You can get him some Old Spice body wash and straighten that out now.
but how old do you have to be? Like, if you're a grown adult, I gotta tell you that. Seriously.
I'm just saying. I'm, I'm just,
Like, I had to tell my cousin that who lived here, who's a young man, and he was acting like you smelled like you stunk. I told the story so much. The man was stinking in my house,
ugh.
like stinking, stank-a-lankin. And I had to tell him that you stink in a nicer way. And he's like, I go, can you not smell it? Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, can you not smell your own odor so that you can kind of determine, okay, I need to do a little something, something, something. He was just not, and I think it was the food. I think when kids eat all this processed food, they just don't really, their glands, I don't know what it is. It just wasn't right. But a lot of these young people have odors. I'm telling you. A lot of my friends and their kids are like, yeah, man, they got to be cussing them off to go and bathe. It's a whole argument.
Like that's
I
a
don't know what it is, but they
oh,
don't smell.
that
Urban, that's how you find him in the club by his scent. Listen here, David Corey.
oh man. Oh man.
I'm not wasting my time on no side piece. I'll just find a new main chick. That would make more sense and make your life easier too, Odom. This is
Yes.
but these
Yeah.
some people get greedy and it causes a lot more problems.
But Urban. You got to talk to your sisters. These women out here, man. Stop throwing yourself at men. You know what I mean? I,
Stop being desperate. Stop being
they
taking the crap. Like have a standard.
go on
Like I for
Instagram.
me, I don't think I gotta tell
Oh,
a man that you stink. You should know the standard when you stepped over to me in the first place. And the standard is not armpit and breath, bad breath. Like you should
well,
have checked that in the car before you walked over to me to say hi. You should have put the extra gum or the trident in your mouth, and you should have put on a little something something before you come over there.
now I'm not talking about nobody, Urban. I'm not talking. But I feel like y'all women got to have a conversation about these wigs smelling like Newports
Musty
and
and dusty.
Cheetos. Some of them smell like Newports and Cheetos. Just hugging everybody.
That's what
Let's,
I'm saying. Like I don't think, and if that there's, I have a male friend, and unfortunately, I'm like one of the guys when it comes to this particular group of people. And the stories I hear about women, it was in, mind you, it helped me because then I would know, okay, don't do this, don't do that, don't, because they couldn't tell their women that, but it was embarrassing. And those women weren't. Their mother didn't teach them that. I can rest and assure the mother didn't teach them that. They must have gone off to some new school behavior,
mm,
and it wasn't right. And the men don't like the funk either.
no, no. I don't know, man. It's just first off, let's just categorize some of these people as just weird. Some of these people are weird, and you can't. You gotta. And y'all women gravitate toward the weirdos. I don't know how else to say this. Y'all gravitate right to the weirdos, and then be like, "Oh, he weird." Oh, you knew that. You knew that. Y'all have women's intuition. Men don't have intuition, so we can get caught off guard, but y'all shouldn't get caught off guard with these weirdos. You
What
know
do you
what I mean?
mean weird? Because I know women like thugs, but what do you mean by weird?
Uh, 6 kids by 5 baby mamas.
Oh, I've been there one time.
That y'all dating
It
that
was
guy?
seven. It was seven children though.
Yeah, y'all date this guy or the guy um with the BMW car with the rims on it, great paint job, and live in his mama basement. Y'all
But this
dated
is what
that
I'm
guy.
saying. But this is what I'm saying. When you're talking about finances, you're saying, "Oh no, this is what I'm saying." We look at that because you're living in the basement. That was my cousin, and he had two cars, a summer car and a winter car, but he had no pot to piss in. So is that the kind of man you want to date? Because he don't got no plan. But then
If
you're saying, "Oh, build a bear."
yes,
Building what bear?
yes, okay, okay. Because first off, it's not that many options for. I'm put this out here. Most
Mm-hmm.
of the most of the good men are married by 30. By
Yep.
30. So you might have to build something up. Because if I can't buy a new car, then I'm putting new parts on this old car to make it okay for me to get around. Some people got to take that into their relationships and say, hey, this guy's got a good heart. He tries hard, but all he needs is a little help. He's been working the same job for 10 years. He has a 401k plan. He don't make that much money, but I can get him to a manager if I clean him up, get his hair cut, get his beard trimmed. I can get him to the next level. Some of these
But why
guys just,
bother? Because that same man's going to be divorced in 10 years, so you can pick him up at 40 and he's got his ish together.
oh my goodness, y'all really waiting on guys to get divorced?
I'm not waiting nothing. I'm just telling you this. I'm undivorced, so I'm at the second round, second run. So I don't have to trade him because she's already traded the first time. Now you
Oh,
done divorce and you're getting the second run.
oh my goodness, that's I've never heard nobody say that.
I'll get this really. It's either be the second run or be a side chick. Either way, you have less stress and less problematic.
You can build up this old Honda. You can build it up, put a new transmission in them. I'm just saying, y'all,
That's
it's
that's the second round. That's what I'm saying. Now the men's about 40 something. He's been divorced. He's learned some lessons in life, and he's a new man.
oh man,
He's a
Okay,
new man.
I'm threw off by that one.
Less Build a Bear. Yeah, he had 7 children. He didn't tell me at first. He told me like later down the line. Then it went from 1 to 2 to 3, and then I'm like, what's the grand total? And that was 7 at that time. I'm pretty sure he had some more with the girlfriend,
Mm.
the final girlfriend.
How
So
long
he
did you
probably
date?
has 10.
How long did you date him though?
I think it was a year. It wasn't that long. It was a year, but it wasn't a good year. It was like a on and off
Oh,
year. It wasn't a good like a
but
solid
y'all,
year.
but you gave him a chance.
Yeah, I did, but that's why you're asking why women don't give these men a chance because we don't want to build a bear because we were told
No, no, no,
when you build a bear, nothing but problems.
no, no,
A
no.
hope and a dream.
That's not
If
a
there's a
fixer
hope and a
upper.
dream, it's not real life. What is he
No, no.
doing right now?
That's at the scrap yard. I said a fixer upper. That's the scrap yard. You picked up something with no motor, no transmission, no tires on it, and you trying to put that back on the road. No, that ain't what I'm talking about. No.
I think you know I also think this is the thing about it. I also think that women are programmed to want to seek a marriage. And I don't think that's the be all and end all. I
It
just
should be.
really don't.
It should be.
Why?
I think it should be. Because if y'all building together, the ultimate bill is a marriage. It's the ultimate bill is a marriage. Because at that point, I can't build with somebody who we ain't linked together. So once we're married, we're linked together. We told God, our friends, everybody, we want to be with this person forever. So
Hmm.
it's an understanding, and now I can build with this person. But if we ain't even married, how am I build? We don't even have the same name. If I pass tomorrow, you don't get nothing. If you pass tomorrow, I don't get nothing. How can you build with somebody like that? It's not. You
But
can't
that's what
build
I'm
like that.
saying. Like, we have this illusion that there's somebody for everybody. And that's not really true because there's not enough
It is.
men for women.
It
So
is. Y'all just
we're
don't want
all
the one for
fighting
y'all.
for the same 10 men in the community or 5 men, and there's like 30 women, potential women. So someone's gonna have to be left in the
No,
cold.
you're wrong, Irma. That guy that's for you works at the convenience store. You just don't want him. Now, them 10
There's
guys,
not enough men, broke. There's not enough men.
it's not enough men that y'all want.
No, there's not enough men, period. If you're
Y'all,
not incarcerated, if you're not
no.
less than 6 feet, if you're not obese, if you're not like if you do you some of them like men, so that they're off the list. Some of them are players.
But
Who's left?
y'all want the same 10 that everybody want.
No, we want
Yeah, y'all
10
do.
eligible men, but not the same
No,
men.
y'all no. Y'all want the same 10. The exact same 10 all y'all want instead of getting a guy that works at Walmart and he's building his own construction building, but uh his own construction company, but he hasn't told anybody because you don't tap in to listen to what he got going on mentally. He's at this place, but he's building here, but y'all don't want that. Y'all
That's
want
not
him
true.
already here.
That's not true.
Them same
That is
10
not true. But these
or
men are nowhere to be found, broke. I've been
no.
at the Home Depot, and mind you, I've met some people at Home Depot, so you were right
See,
about the
see,
Home
see,
Depot.
see.
But some of them were kind of like this. I went maybe in August to the nursery to find some fruit trees, and this guy's like, "Oh, da 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 da," talking. So I'm like, I thought he worked there. He didn't work there. He was just making a conversation. But then I saw him driving a white van, and that's kind of like, the white van kind of.
He's a
I
painter.
heard, I heard this the horror music in the
Oh
back
my
of my
God.
mind. I'm like, a white van.
Oh my God. He's a
What's going?
painter.
But what went left was he went. We said, okay, nice meeting, whatever, and he went, hey, Big Rooster, juicing with Jay, Nikki, and I think I got okay. He went to his car, said he's leaving, and something told me to linger, so I lingered, and then I said, okay, he's gonna leave. So then, as he's ready to pull out, I'm walking to my car. I'm like, I don't want him to know what kind of car I drive. So I walk to the car with all the soil. All of a sudden, I see the van turn back in. I said, Lord have mercy, he's crazy.
Oh my
Something not
God.
right with that man.
He's not crazy. He's look. First off, he's either a painter or a landscaper. He's at the nursery, so he's probably a landscaper, and he needs the van to put his stuff in. He
But why
talked
would you
to
leave and then drive back?
because he got his confidence up to come back and talk to you. He was gonna
He
give you
didn't
his
come
number.
back and talk to me. He went in the store to go to the return. I don't know what he was doing. And then after I said, okay, I'm going to leave because this guy seemed a little off his rocker because he's like a white van.
No,
He came
no,
out, he came back in. He's acting weird. And I'm like,
he
But he
gave you
was good
another
looking.
chance.
He was, and I gave him like I was friendly, but I'm like, something was a
He was
little
giving you
weird.
another chance to talk.
I
Because
did. I stood there loading up my car. I said, okay, maybe he's gonna help me load up the car with the dirt. And I'm looking helpless. And the man never came back to help with no bag of dirt. I'm like, okay,
what
hello?
y'all don't understand the Me Too movement. The Me Too movement says that y'all gotta holler first, because we can't holler at y'all. That's what the Me Too movement did. Because
So
we
now
don't
we
want to
have
be.
to make the first move. Hi, are you single?
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
find that so like, I don't know,
It's
uncomfortable. Like I have to ask you that.
he doesn't want to be on Facebook as the creep that kept trying to hit on you at the nursery, because y'all do that. Y'all have a whole creep page. Hmm, okay, I'm not
I
joking.
don't know, but I'm at the Home Depot, so I'm there cruising the aisles and pushing my cart and seeing who's there in the aisles, who's looking like they got a good job and know how to build a bear and build a wall and can fix my roof and walking around. So there's men at the Home Depot, but still looking 50.
I'm just saying it's easier if y'all just take it down a notch and be more practical. Soon as
Mm-hmm.
y'all meet somebody, y'all start checking out boxes. Y'all checking out boxes. He's this, he's that, he's that. Oh my goodness,
But
dude.
don't you have to check off a box? He
No,
can't be
we don't.
crazy. He can't be, have
What if
7 children and 7 baby mamas. Like there's certain
what,
boxes you got to check off.
when men meet women, it's not that many boxes. Make sure she ain't crazy. Make
Mm-hmm.
sure her baby daddy ain't crazy.
And she got
And
some
how
good hair, real hair, right? You don't want no more of those wigs.
I'm not a weak guy. And see what the conversation like. Can she carry a conversation? You know what I mean?
I think you're missing a whole segment of what men look at when they see a woman. There's a whole physical checklist you guys put off in your mind.
Not really. Not really.
If she's not physically appealing, you're like, eh.
Eh,
That's
I
like
give you that.
20 things right there.
No, that's
Eh.
two. That's two. That's
Her
two.
teeth are yellow. She does.
I don't care.
She's too busty, not busty enough.
Oh, we
She
don't care
don't
about
have
the
a good
teeth.
figure. Her belly's hanging over her pants. Like there's 20 things that are going through your mind that you don't even realize.
No,
That you're
I'm
like,
just
nah, 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 nah. She got too many pimples. She had too much makeup on.
no.
Not enough makeup on. She don't
We can
look like
fix
she's
that.
well kept.
We can fix that, Urban. I got a dental plan. I can get a teeth fix. That's the last thing I worry
So
about
you
the
don't
teeth.
mind building a bear.
No,
Do real
not at
men
all.
like real natural hair on a woman? Yeah,
Yes.
a lot of them
Yeah,
do.
I do.
Yeah, they do. They do. Nobody wants to see 5 bundles of hair from Malaysia on it's not even your real texture. It looks ridiculous.
Yeah, I do. And everybody, some people don't
You can't
care.
go to bed with your wig on, so they're gonna see it regardless. So how do you look regular? If you don't look decent regular, they don't want that. I feel sorry
I,
for men though, so I do because by the time you take off the wig, the eyelashes, the eyebrows, the click, 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 ripping off the nails, you're like, who are you?
but and that's a misconception. Men are not so caught up in a woman's face. Let's start there. What that's not that big a deal as women think. Your face is not that big a deal.
It's the
It's
whole
not.
package in general.
In general, the whole package.
Hmm.
But it's not the face. A lot of I gotta do my makeup. I gotta get my eyelashes arched and make sure the little I ain't got no mustache. I don't care about that. That's in y'all head. We don't care about that. None of that.
So you don't mind a mole with 3 hairs sticking out? If I have
No,
a big mole with 3 hairs sticking out.
you gotta clip them hair now. You gotta clip them hair.
Rooster's asking, does 7 children make him less of a man?
No, it makes them manly to me.
Yeah, he's manly because he's been get. But 7 children with 7 baby mamas versus 7 kids with one woman is
Or two.
two completely different things, in my
I feel
opinion.
I feel like 7 kids, 2 baby mama is reasonable.
Yeah,
Seven.
maybe 2, But when you
Yeah.
start saying 7 and 7, like 7 women and 7 children, that's like after the
But
third baby, you didn't know that you should be putting on some gloves and something.
that's the man y'all all like though, because
And you're right. That's what we used to like. But now we
yeah,
woke up and smelled the Ovaltine, and that ain't working over. Mm-mm,
just
mm-mm.
saying. Y'all want them same 10 guys, same 10. It's 400 women that want that same 10 guys, and these other 300 dudes lonely out here. Cause y'all want the
Because
dude with the good skin and the waist set and with the
what's wrong with the
muscle.
waves and the good skin and the
Ah,
nice teeth? They brush their teeth and they floss too.
look, Urban, we both over 40, I think. Uh, we don't 40 men don't most of them don't even have hair. Let's start there.
I don't
So
mind
what
a bald head. I don't mind a clean shaven head and the the face manicured and
where's the 50-year-old guy with waves at? I don't
I
know
think they
none.
I think they glue them in. I think they men be gluing on weave too nowadays. The barbers be putting on. I'm telling you, you gotta watch on TikTok. They be gluing on something and they line it up and make it look like it's hair.
It is not that serious.
And they spray paint it black. It's a whole thing.
Oh, I've seen the Beijing stuff. Yeah,
They make
that's
it look good. I'm like
but
bald.
y'all fall for it though. Y'all fall for it.
So do you. You guys be falling for the hair too. When the
Mine
girl takes
don't
off all the clip-ins, you'll be like, you don't have no hair.
mine don't wear that. Just saying. To each his
How would a
own.
woman know that? Hold on, maybe irresponsible. Oh, he's talking about the 7 kids, 7 baby mamas. I have 5 with 5 baby mamas, and I'm looking for 2 more baby mamas.
Who said that?
I thought Rooster. I thought you had a full time lady now.
But first off,
I
Rooster
don't know.
ain't trying to Rooster ain't
For
trying to
me,
have no
for
more
me,
kids.
it's like it's not appealing because that means you always have baby mamas in the mix, and that's seven. That was 7 women, 7 hostile women, mind you, because he had 3 of them at the same time pregnant. So it wasn't a good thing. And then you come in there, and it's always like hostility. It was yeah,
And
and
I
then you
think
never have
Rooster
time
kids
alone. It's always
grown.
a kid there. Hmm?
I think Rooster kids grown though.
No, they weren't grown. When
I'm talking about
when
Rooster.
when I found out about the last one was just fresh born, number 7
Ooh,
at that time, and that was like long time ago. I would have to go and search him out to see what the number is now, but he was at 7. And then she was telling him off like, why don't you settle down, and she's tired of this nonsense, and he wasn't settling down. He was just
I
out in
mean,
these streets.
it's some players out there, but it's also some gold diggers out there. So
Hmm.
it, it's a woman version of a man. A lot of them. And if you go to Instagram, you can find 90% of them.
They're there, but they
Oh
pay
my
the
goodness.
price. These women, these gold diggers pay the price because a lot of these models or whatever they claim to be travel overseas for encounters, and you're on their
Dubai.
territory. Yeah, and you're on their territory. And when you hear the stories, because they go there and they want to pay these girls in cash, but you can't leave the country with that amount of cash. So you went there for pretty much for nothing. And the things
Okay.
that they do for the money, it's like it's some of them even turned up missing. One girl turned up missing because I
And
guess
it,
she
it's
talked
weird.
back, and that was that.
It's weird because it's funny that all these Instagram models go to Dubai all the time and don't nobody understand what's going on, dude. But look, Urban, I gotta run because my little
Hmm.
girl want to go to Dunkin' Donuts, so I want to see if she's ready to go. But look
No
here,
problem.
enjoyed the conversation. I love a good
I'll
back
drop the
and
link one
forth.
more time. I know we always have a good conversation.
Love the conversation. You already know. So look, I'm gonna catch you in these streets later on.
Yeah, man,
All
for
right, be
sure.
good.
Be good. Take care.
All right.
But yeah, that was the story there. But I don't know. Everybody has their own. I think. Hold on. Let me read the check. I think Rooster was saying something about hot pants. No, hot pants, big rooster. Hold on. Okay, let me stay in my lane, old. Hold on, unbiased. You too old for this. Stop it. Unbiased. My baby making machine still work. Who too old? Oh my god. And yes, Jason J. Clean nails. I hate dirty nails. I hate dirty nails. I just think that good conversation as always, but I don't think it's about the amount of money, but I don't think anybody wants to um give up certain luxuries and comforts that they're accustomed to, and it does cause a problem. Well, there's problems on both sides, but yeah, Home Depot. I'm gonna go to Home Depot again today, pick up some stuff. Let me see who I see at Home Depot in the aisles. If he's irresponsible, hold on. How would I know what? Oh, if he's irresponsible, okay. I think I don't know what she's saying, but I know what I'm saying is in my case, 7 children, 7 baby mamas. Was it 7? Yeah, it was 7. It was 7 women. It wasn't 6. It was 7 baby mamas. It does look a bit irresponsible because if you're a player, then play, but don't be tied to people with a lifelong 18-year responsibility. Like put on, a condom or whatever you're going to be doing because you're still doing what you're doing. And 7 children, like it's kind of like, okay, 1 mistake, 2 mistakes, 3 mistakes, but now after 3, it's kind of like that's a habit. And I don't know. I think it's just not really a good look. That's why I said maybe. Yeah, like how do you have 7 children? And did you want all 7 children? Or like okay, were they all accidents? What like how did that happen? How did you have 7 children? And the thing about it is my friend got upset because he had at the time, he had a few, but he didn't have 7. And I said, the thing about having that many children is you're not taking care of all of them. He's like, yes, I am. I'm like, you're not taking care of all of them because the one, the child for the woman that you're living with gets you there full time and a full time father. The girls that have kids for you that you don't live with only see you part time. So you can't say that you're getting the same level of fathering if you're not with the woman. If I'm trying to make sense, like if they're with the woman, then the child sees the father often. But if you're not with that woman, those kids don't see you often. You have to like visitation and whatever. So they're not getting all of you. They're getting you part time. So how is that fair? And then if you didn't want kids with this woman, you didn't like her like that. You weren't into her. You were into sleeping with her, but you weren't into like being with her. Then why did you get her pregnant? And she can have. Hold on. Let me catch up with the chat. Jay, I work in soil. How do you keep your nails clean? Oh, you wash them and you brush them with this brush and you put the soap under there. I I keep my nails clean. And I'm in dirt. You wash your hands, you have a brush, you scrub under your nails, and you keep your nails clean. If you're just finishing work, fine, but after you've cleaned up, you should be clean. Depends on the age of the kids. At our age, yeah, that's different. At a grown person, but at my age, at that time, had too many young children. There was always kids. He had to always have chat. Like it was too much. By cleaning them, David, and wearing gloves, stop making excuses. Okay. Um, she can have 7 and be divorced. 7. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. 7 kids, even a woman, it's not just a man thing. If a woman has 7 kids and 7 baby daddies, children aren't mistakes. The child is a mistake, but you having it with that woman, did you like, you know what I'm saying? You didn't want to have a child with that woman. So her getting pregnant was a mistake. The child is not a mistake. A child is a life. But you know what I'm saying? If you don't want to be with the woman and you're just sleeping with the woman, then you need to be careful because you don't want to be tied to somebody because you didn't take the precautions. She and you should have taken precautions. If a woman has, and there's women here who have multiple baby daddies, they're not on the top of the list to be chosen. Which man wants to deal with a woman who has so much baby daddies? I don't think it's appealing. That means everybody that she sleeps with, she gets pregnant for. You know, I think that people, children are never a mistake when you are practicing. Practicing what? Having sex? I think if you know who you want to be with and who you don't want to be with. And this is the problem. People sleep with people, but they don't really want to be with them like that, but they don't mind sleeping with them. So you need to take precautions. Anyways, the guy with 7 kids is no longer, that wasn't gonna go anywhere. That was too many outside people involved in your relationship. What comes first, chicken or the egg? What does it have to do with having 7 children with 7 baby mothers? And some of them were all pregnant at the same. No, this that guy wasn't right. Thank God that he had to go. He's gone. He had to go. That was just that was. You can say whatever you want, and it's not me being rude. It's real life. You have to now. If you have a man with 7 children and 7 baby mamas, that's, as I said, that's 7 women involved, arguing, arranging childcare, his weekends with the kids. Then he doesn't have the same kids on the same weekend, and it's always kids there. And then you're just in. That's just nah, man. That's too much work. That was a lot of work. He had too many things going on. That doesn't make sense for somebody who's dating somebody, and then you have all these children, all these responsibilities attached. It was just too much. And my friend recently dated a guy who had 5 children, but they were all 5 with his ex-wife. That's a completely different interaction because you're only interacting with the ex-wife, not 7 different women. Could some people be under an outside influence, like music? For sure. I think, I think, I don't know if you saw the video, David. There was a video that came out with one of those artists. I don't know this artist. This must be a newer artist. And he said he the record labels push certain kind of music more, especially in certain neighborhoods, because they like the negative influence. So anything to do with violence, talking bad about women and calling them hoes and different stuff like that. That was the music that they were pushing from the record label more. So he was talking about it and saying they don't like the music that when you're talking about positive stuff and like building the community, they don't want to hear that kind of stuff. They want you to talk about bad stuff. So if the record labels are pushing this agenda, obviously they're pushing it because they want a particular outcome. And that's exactly what's being promoted. So some of these younger cats are out here talking about that, but you did it. You took the record deal so you can push this negative music. Don't cur unbiased. Hold on. What happened? What did I miss? David don't like to be corrected. Hey, Africans. So that's what's going on. Definitely, I think, David, there is an influence on music and TV. And I think we can definitely see the difference. When we were coming up and watching TV, it was totally different programs and totally different shows that we were watching. I'm just trying to think of shows that we watched, like, you know, Cosby, even though that's a whole scandal, different world. I was watching I was watching like the shows I was watching weren't really talking about these bad stuff, or the music wasn't really that bad when I was coming up. Whitney Houston was, there's certain artists that were just big and was just happy music. I only started hearing that like negative stuff later on, and like, you know, talking badly about women and all this different stuff later on. And I didn't listen to that music anyways. I had no interest in it. So, but the younger kids, they love that stuff. And somebody had a party on my street. And then when you heard the music that was playing, I couldn't believe they were playing all these swear words and all this vulgarity. And their kids are right there singing along and dancing to it like nothing. So that's what it's normal to them. They don't think that anything's wrong with it. So that's what they're used to. And I think it does affect how people see things. If I say how beautiful you and your glasses be, will it change? Um, so yeah, that's pretty much that. And I think there was one more. Oh, one quick thing is that I saw on the gram. Let me just pull it up. They were talking about diabetes because I was just looking at some health and wellness stuff, and I did not know that they had linked the blue light, the devices in a blue light, to diabetes. And let me just pull it up and tell you what it says. And maybe if you have diabetes, this will be of interest to you and you can start looking further. But when I looked it up, it was true. It wasn't a made up thing. So what they're saying is excessive use of devices that give you that blue light, it it causes more insulin resistance, and it definitely affects is a factor with diabetes. So let me see if I can find it to at least play you. I don't know if it had audio. Hold on. Um, Let me see if it has audio, or I can just read it to you.
Diabetes is induced by blue light. So you can catch diabetes from TV. Wow. I'm going to say that again. Please break that down. Okay. You can catch diabetes from television. Wow. Because the blue light that is emitted from the screen ends up increasing your sugar, spiking your glucose levels in your body. Wow. If you spike the glucose levels in your body, now what you're doing is secreting excess amounts of insulin from your pancreas. Your pancreas have beta cells that produce this particular hormone. Yeah. And if it's overproducing it, then it's not going to produce enough to the point that when you really do need to break sugar down and it needs to enter the cell, it can't because your insulin levels are low. And that's a form of diabetes. Wow. Oh.
So hopefully you heard that clearly. So when I checked it out, it was accurate. There's 2 studies that came up that show that the blue light, so TV, but that includes your cell phone and your tablets. Oh, hold on. Rooster's coming up. Okay, I see you there. Hold on. What's up, big rooster?
Urban.
Well,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? I saw you. I'm upset, man. The Texas meetup. I see everybody over there. You and Tori and CC and Unbiased and Sunshine. I'm like, but wait, we didn't get no invite.
They treated me like crap too.
They did?
Texas treated me like crap. First of all, Unbiased ate up all my food. CC just muscled herself in on the trip. Mona extorted me. I mean, how worse of a trip can it be?
And then Tori's taller than you. I'm like, Tori's taller than Rooster? Oh my!
Right, he about 2 inches taller than me. Yeah, and he made me look like a dwarf.
Oh my!
See how bad Texas treated me? But
I did not picture him to be taller than you, so I was like, laughing.
But I came up to because you interest me with this blue light thing. So when you say blue light, can you elaborate? Is that like because us watching monitors and things like that, everything has a little bit of blue in it. You know what I'm saying? So can you enlighten us a little bit on that?
I'm gonna send it to you on Instagram before I forget. Hold on, I'm sending it to you now so you have it. And then I looked it up. Let me see what I looked up. Let me see if I can find it. I didn't have it ready, but give me a second. So I'm gonna forward that to Rooster. I was shocked when I'm like, this has to be a made up thing.
Uh-huh.
Did it go? I think it went. I clicked on. Oh no, I didn't click on you properly. Did it click on? Okay, send.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe
I just got
you might
something
have gotten
from
it
you.
twice. So I want to pull up
Okay.
on my phone and see if I find it. But um, blue light. I was shocked because I was like, we're doing all this stuff to eat healthy and doing all the exercising, and then you're wondering why you're not getting no good results. Meanwhile, one of them said that, oh, you're like late night on your on the blue lights and the devices before going to bed is also the problem, like causing diabetes. Um, so it says here on the search engine, while morning and evening blue enriched light exposure both resulted in higher insulin resistance, evening blue enriched light led to higher peak glucose. This suggests a greater inability of insulin to adequately compensate for the increase in glucose in the evening. So it actually spikes your sugar, like eating a whole bunch of sweet stuff, the blue light.
Okay, so this sweet I'm eating right now, I ain't got to worry about it then, huh?
Well, it's no worse than the blue light. Hey, blood files, that is no worse than the thing. But give me a second. I want to. And there was an article, the National Institute of Health, NIH, so it's not it's a official medical report that says blue light at night acutely impairs glucose intolerant and increases sugar intake in the diur- diurnal rodent in a sex dependent, I don't know, some study. Anyways, it says here that exposure to light at night containing short wavelength emissions can disrupt the normal function of the biological clock, altering sleep wake cycles and metabolic change and causing metabolic changes. It's reported that the night light acutely impairs glucose tolerance in nocturnal rats. However, light at night in nocturnal rodents coincides with their activity period, in contrast to artificial light at night exposure in humans. So the aim of the study is to also look at your metabolism and your food intake in both males and females. And the blue light definitely caused a spike in glucose and insulin resistance.
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
And all we
that's
do
very
is on
interesting.
computers. All we are on nowadays is on computers.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
a lot of
That's why I was asking.
children are getting juvenile, like they're saying they're seeing a spike in juvenile diabetes as well.
Right. So I was because I know I always hear about, you shouldn't go to bed directly after watching, TV or sitting
Mhm.
at a computer monitor, things like that, So I guess I could understand where they're coming from with that, because it
And
all
I'm in
plays
bed
in,
with my phone half the time. They're saying you shouldn't do that, but
right,
and you shouldn't charge your phone and you're like all these things. I'm like, so I'm trying to stop doing that, but
right,
yeah, they say you shouldn't
right,
do that.
right,
Even the radio waves are not like, yeah, we're messing up our bodies with all these devices, and they're so convenient to have them right there. And at night, you get up and you're on your phone, you're looking at Instagram videos, and you go to the washroom and you look at your phone. All of that is messing up
right.
your
Yeah,
sleep pattern.
yeah. It's all
So,
one big
oh,
distraction.
are you a
All one big.
diabetic or you have sugar issues?
No, 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 no. I was just wondering because I hear it, a lot, and because a lot of people associate diabetes with the sugars and all of that stuff, but
Hmm.
I know a lot of skinny people that are diabetics that eat healthy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, I don't know. You just always hear,
It's they
from
always say it's
fat
sugar.
boys like me.
They always say it's sugar, and that's what I thought it was because my mom was a diabetic. But
Uh-huh.
it's your
It's more.
pancreas.
Yeah, it's more.
It's nothing to do with
It's
sugar.
more.
It's to do with insulin
Right.
resistance. So if you're eating a lot of
Right.
rice and starches, that is converted to sugar
Yeah.
too. So
Yep.
it's a
Yep.
whole thing you're
Yep.
supposed to change. And then usually diabetes is linked with kidney issues and hypertension. They always work
There
together
you
in
go.
threes. So if
Yep.
you have one, you always get another one.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And so because I have higher blood pressure, they're like want me to really monitor it because that could cause other problems. So
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
that's why I'm trying to get that under control, and it's almost under control, but not quite. But it's much better than before. Much better than before.
Well, that's all I wanted to come up because that
Mhm.
sparked my interest. That that sparked my interest when you went over to that. All that other stuff I was just playing. I ain't got 5 baby mamas.
Oh, you don't?
No, no. I got one baby. I got one baby mama, and may she rest in peace. I got two children by one woman. So
Okay, so you're not. I thought you had 5 because you said so. I believed you.
I know you did. I
So you
but
okay?
I
Then
don't
yeah,
knock no. I don't knock nobody for however many children they have with however many people they want to. I just I just want you to, if you got that many baby mamas and you got that many children, just be responsible. That's all. Like Nikki said,
yeah.
got to be
Take care. Do
responsible.
what you're
That's
supposed
all.
to be doing exactly,
Yeah, yeah,
and don't keep
yeah,
having
yeah,
5 more, please. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Well, at least don't. Hey, by the way, you got a really nice living room there. Georgia, look, I was watching Georgia girl, somebody, whatever her name is.
yeah. The
I'm
same
every
living
woman. Yeah, I said, wait a minute. I say, hi. I say, do her and Urban Garden Chronicles live together? This was when I first met you guys.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah,
You
do
got
they
the
live
same
together? But
house.
anyway, I got to get back to work. I just wanted to
Okay,
come up
take
for a
care.
minute. And
Let
thanks
me
for
see.
having me. Huh?
Oh, you're welcome.
All right.
Let me see what TLC is saying. Wonder what the correlation is between the blue light versus just sitting and watching and not moving around. I don't know, but there's something about the blue light because they're even when you have jobs on the computer, they want to give you a filter for the screen to block some of the blue light, and they give you special glasses that you can buy sometimes that filter out the blue light because there's something about the blue light that's not good for us. Um but to hear that it's linked with and I know it affects your sleep because you really shouldn't be doing that, but we be doing that. And I know some people are doing some kind of red light therapy that's supposed to give you some health benefits. Don't, I don't know. That piano's never been used always. um so there's some linkage between that the light, not just, it's not about sitting down, it's the light itself that's coming through the TV, your tablets, and your cell phones. Um, that's causing too much exposure is causing a problem. It's just good to note. So if you're having diabetes and you're doing all the right things and you're not getting any results, you're wondering, you've cut out certain foods, you're exercising, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and it's not improving, it could be your exposure to blue light. So give it a try, turning off your device at a certain time and see if that helps, or have a filter or put on the special glasses that filter it out, um and see if that helps. But that was really odd, and I checked it and it's legit. um there's our current studies on this stuff and it's definitely legit. But I'm going to close it off. It's been 2 hours, almost 2 hours, but I'm going to go to Home Depot, get some stuff done. Happy Thanksgiving to all the Canadians that were in the chat, who are maybe still here. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving. Um, I will see you next Saturday if all goes well. I do have to go still do some cleaning at some of the properties. It's just like get some stuff done. People aren't available. It's hard to find good cleaners, so you're stuck with the doing it yourself. Hey, Billy. So I'm gonna bounce, but have a great weekend. I'll see you next week, God willing. I'll see you in the tonight's the chat at 7 o'clock. And there's a couple of y'all have to email back. I know somebody emailed me, but I've been just tardy as per usual with getting that responses. But I'll get some responses out this week and set some dates for some of y'all. And have be kind to yourself as my slogan, and be kind to others. And I'll see you next week. You can drop your link, #urban, and I'll let it run for a few minutes and then I'll shut it down. Okay. Bye guys. Thanks for joining in. Thumbs up, like, and share.